with Senator Padilla, who's a staunch advocate of energy security. He's been pushing various government agencies to do more exploration so that we won't import fuel anymore. So that's a very important advocacy, especially at this time. So Senator Padilla.
Maraming salamat po, mahal na tagapangulo. Ikaw ang iniidolo natin sa sipag dito sa Senado, kaya pareho tayo ng kapalaran, pareho tayo nagkaroon ng high blood. Pareho din tayo ng doktor. Isang magandang umaga po sa lahat po ng ating mga bisita at sa lahat po ng mga idol senators din po namin na mga kasama po natin sa online. Ako po ay nagpapasalamat sa araw na ito at ako po ay makakaharap ko po ang masasabi nating pag-asa ng ating inang bayan dito po sa pinagdaraanan natin na kakulangan ng langis. At sa matagal na panahon po tayo po'y pinahihirapan ng OPEC at ng kung ano-ano man mga bansa na naghahari patungkol sa langis. At kanina narinig po natin yung presentasyon ng Napocor ay muntik po akong nahimatay dito. Dahil po sabi nyo magkakaroon ng mapuputol ang kuryente sa mga lugar sa kalahatian ng taon next year. At nakakalungkot po ito. At gusto ko pong malaman kung paano nyo po kukunin. Nagbigay po kayo doon ng mga kung saan kukunin ng pangtustos doon. Pero pwede po bang i-educate nyo ako? Di ba po ang Bisan, kayo ay nasa batas, natutulungan nyo silang magbayad? Ano po ba ang sinasabi ng diyan? Di ba po, una, ang Napocor po, ilan na po utang nyo? Di ba? May malaki po ang...
Yes, Mr. Senator. Wala pong utang sa ngayon si Napocor. Instead, the borrowings or the debt service was already passed to the PISAM due to the IPIRA. So sa ngayon po, wala po kaming utang as the
Sige,
national power.
i-rephrase ko. Magkano minanan yung utang? Pinasa sa iyo. Ikaw na ngayon ang may utang.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chair, Senator Padilla, thank you for the question. So, we inherited the total debt obligations of Napocor, including IPPs, in the year 2000 of about 830 million. It reached a high of 1.2 trillion pesos. And the total obligations now for PSAM is the remaining is 355.9 billion pesos, sir.
Yun po ang minanan yung utang.
Yes, sir.
300.
Yung remaining lang po as of June 2022 is 355.9 billion pesos.
Ayun na lang po. Opo. Kasama na po doon yung mga utang natin sa Bataan Nuclear Plant pa. Ganun ba? Di ba may utang po tayo doon?
Kasama din po yun.
So 300, ano na lang po yun?
355.9 billion pesos.
Ayun, opo. So magmula po nung IPIRA law na magte-25 years na po, no?
Yes, sir. Yung high as of 2003 was 1.2 trillion pesos.
Apo, tapos nabawasan nyo na ng
Nabawasan na
bawasan. So, okay. Sa ngayon po, sino po ang may mga utang naman sa inyo? Sa Pisan? Ng mga... Sensya na po,
Yes, sir.
Magmula nung napunta ako sa Senado, talagang yun na lang, puro utangan dito, utangan doon. Masarap din makarinig ng nagbabayad eh. Yan. Ngayon po, meron po bang may utang sa Pisan?
Marami po.
Ayun, naku. Nagbabayad naman po ba sila?
May mga problematic accounts, Senator. If you allow me, if you want me to list the top 10 of our overdue accounts, receivables, right?
Pag sinabi pong receivable, may pag-asa pong magbayad. O kinasuhan nyo na?
Yung iba dito, sir, medyo problematic talaga, Senator.
Sige nga po, sino po yung mga problematic na yan at pagsasampalin natin yan? Sino po ba yan?
Yung number one, Senator, is Lanao del Sur Electric Cooperative, about 13
Aray
billion.
ko po, hindi ko masasampal yata yun.
Opo, sorry. Sorry po for starting with the number one.
Kanina pa ako gusto malaglag sa upuan ko. Magkano utang ng
13 billion po.
13 billion?
Opo.
Paano sila nagkautang ng 13 billion?
From what I understand, Senator, they've refused to pay the electric.
Refuse?
Well, they refuse to pay the electric energy that they consume coming from the Pisam Napocor power plants in Mindanao. They actually have a direct connection to one of our plants, which is Agus 1. And based on their consumption, they have refused to pay. The reasons for that leads to are numerous. There's a lack of installation of kilowatt-hour meters in the area.
Hindi sila nakabayad, puputulan yung kuryente.
We've tried and we've sent notices of disconnection, but those has not been implemented. We've been working with
BARM.
BARM and NEA, sir, to try to obtain assistance for this particular problem. We've tried to enter into special payment arrangements, but then again, those special payment arrangements has not been met. The conditions of those has not been met. So we have made suggestions to NEA and to BARM on the proper way forward to deal with the Lasureco problem. We believe that the best entity to solve the problem is themselves. Therefore, we believe that, Senator, if it's part of it's a
Nagkaroon
proposal.
na po ba ng pag-uusap ang LGU, ang BARM at kayo? Nag-usap?
Yes, sir.
Meron po ba silang proposal paano magbayad? Para po wag naman mangyari, parang pinutulan nyo na po isang beses. At
Hindi naman naputulan, sir.
Okay.
Notices lang po. So, hindi naman sila napaputulan kasi may direct connection sila sa Agus 1 hydropower plant.
Okay.
So, hindi sila napaputulan.
May pag-asa po ba makabayad sila? Naku, hindi masugot ni boss.
Hindi ko din masagot, sir. So, it's not easy. So, it's either national government through NEA that will absorb the payment or the payment will be absorbed by BARM and the operations of the such will also be taken over by BARM. Yun lang din po yung nakita namin solution because the people in the area refuses to pay.
Wala po bang pag-asa na patawarin nyo na lang? Wala.
In the IPIRA laws, Mr. Senator, there was a provision for the condonation of
Opo.
loans. So may ganun po. So again, that only covered certain ECs, which I think included Lasureco at that time. However, the obligations of Lasureco has ballooned again all the way up to 13 billion po.
So dati napatawad nyo na, tapos
May
ulit?
na-condone na po na mga obligasyon dati. I think we nag-condone pa kami ng loans in 2009, if I'm not mistaken.
Tapos na ulit.
Tapos na ulit lumaki ulit po yung utang pa.
Ma'am, sorry ma'am. Hindi, may binubulong sa inyo eh. Baka pabor na yung binubulong.
Hindi po.
Hindi pa rin pabor.
Hindi pa.
Sige po. Sino po yung pangalawa?
Yung number 2 po, again, please forgive me, si PUD, Olongapo City, is about 7.2
Saan po
billion.
ito? Saan po?
Sa Olongapo City,
Olongapo.
7.2 billion. PICOP Resources, I think this is isang manufacturing industrial plant, 3.3 billion pesos. Albay Electric Co-op, 3.1 billion pesos. Yung alam ko po, Magelco also po, may utang din po yun about 3.3 billion pesos. Global Steelworks, 1.9 billion. Pampanga Electric Co-op, 1.5 billion pesos po. So, yun po yung mga nasa billion na may utang. Yung iba po nasa mga million na lang. Mga
Ito pong mga ito talagang problematic.
mga problemado, sir. Yung
Walang pag-asa, parang gano'n. Kailangan makukondom na lang lahat, gano'n.
Mga ganun kasing mga solution, Senator, are one of the possible solutions, Mr. Senator. We've tried multiple times to send special payment arrangements, deferred payments, stretching the payments out to longer, ensuring that they pay at least 10% of the bill, 25% of the bill. Pero hindi po kasi sustainable. Kahit sabihin nila na makapagbayad sila today ng 25%, tapos sa sunod na buwan
Hindi
naman,
naman nasusunod.
hindi consistent po yung nababayad po nila sa
Anong pwedeng mangyari dyan sa mga yan pagka ganyan? Hindi nyo nabibigyan ng pagkakataon na o ano?
Yung based sa experience po namin yun, lumalaki lang yung palaki ng palaki yung utang, yung isang malaking porsyento dito sa mga utang, sir, is interest. So part of the discussion also that we're having with national government, kung pwede ba itong interest na lang, tanggalin na lang. So again, hindi ko pa alam kung act of Congress ba yun or act of national government, kung pwede din po yun gawin.
Sige po. Pag-usapan na lang po na, hindi tayo matatapos dyan.
Yes, sir.
Oo,
Yes, sir.
pag-usapan po natin mamaya. Pagka balik na po ako doon sa solusyon.
Yes, sir.
Baka
So,
sakali.
we welcome any invite from your officer to discuss
Yes,
it
sir.
further, sir. Thank
Opo,
you.
imbitahin po namin kayo, Mr. Dennis Edward A. de la Serna.
Salamat po.
Opo, salamat po.
Senator Padilla, if you may, pasubmit na lang po sa amin yung list so that we'll be guided also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Mr. Chair.
Mahal na Pangulo, lipat lang po ako, baka may solusyon sa exploration. Medyo sumikip ang dibdib. Dito tayo sa exploration. Nawala. Mag-i-explore na. Wag muna. Opo. Pwede po ako magtanong kay Sir? Opo. Noong pong last year, wala pa po ako sa Senado, ngunit ako po ay merong ugnayan sa Iran. At nag-usap po kami noon, ang sabi nila, handa silang tumulong sa atin, handa sila na mag-supply ng langis. Nagkataon naman, ang sabi sa akin, bawal. Bawal, hindi pwedeng makipag-usap ang Pilipinas sa Iran. Ano po ba ang talagang ganap dyan?
Well, ganito po ang nangyari. Actually, tinawagan po ako ni Secretary Dominguez kasi nga may Iranian delegation na pumisita sa kanya. So ako po pumunta sa kanya, tinatanong niya nga po ako noon kung okay ba. Ang sagot ko po sa kanya basta't yung physical goods dalhin dito, iba na usapan yung bayaran. Kasi ang issue at that time was that they cannot use the SWIFT system. Yung sistemang bayaran ng other countries by which meron akong platform yan na bayaran for international payments. So ang naging suggestion at that time was that they can have an alternate payment system that can be made. So doon ho nagtapos yung usapan.
So wala pong kinalaman sa sanction. Sa bayaran lang po ito.
Yun yung panahon, nung panahon na ho yun. Bayaran ako lang ho yun.
Bayaran lang po. Yun lang po ang...
System.
Hindi
Yeah.
po nila tinanggap yung sistema natin? O tayo po hindi makatanggap ng sistema ng bayaran nila?
Well, sila po ang nagmungkahi na gumawa na lang ng separate alternative system.
Open po tayo. Open. Hanggang ngayon po ba, open pa rin po
Well,
tayo makipag-usap?
Ito na ngayon yung bago naman ho itong sistema ngayon kasi nga nagkaroon nga ho na, as you correctly pointed out, meron ng mga sanctions. But as I think it's the president's move today that he would, as per his principle of we are friends to everybody and enemies to none, I think that will open up a different venue.
Napakasarap po marinig nun, sir. Kahit hindi ko po makita yung ngiti nyo, ang ganda po ng ngiti nyo, boss. Opo, napakagandang balita nun. Tagapangulo, mga friends, kaibigan natin lahat. Wala tayong kaaway. Salamat po. Salamat po. Nandito na po yung sa exploration. Tanong ko lang po, boss, kailan po natin ito magkakaroon ng output ito? Napakadami po nito na inyo pong explore. Meron na pong output to na physical, nakikita na natin.
Sa alin po, Senator?
Ito po, yung sa oil, of course, yung sa Malampayan, nandun na yun. Kitang-kita na, paubos na nga eh. Pero itong iba,
Yung
sa
next po,
Cagayan, Calamian, meron na po ba ito?
Mr. Chair, pwede ba natin i-recognize si VP Jimmy Bacud? Siya po yung ating VP for Upstream.
Mr. Chair, with regard to the questions on the exploration po, isa sa mga potential areas po natin na pinag-aaralan ngayon is yung Cagayan, yung binanggit nyo.
Opo, gaano na po katagal ito na inyo pong ina-explore? Hindi pa ba natin ito ma-exploit?
Kung madidrill po natin yan by next year and we have a discovery, mas mga 2-3 years pwede na po nating i-develop into another gas field. Meron po kami isang gas discovery dun sa area. We'd like to check din kung kayang i-produce kasi ang problema namin is merong tubig na lumalabas when we were trying to test it. So yun po yung dalawang potential areas natin sa Cagayan. And then, yung sa mga areas natin sa Palawan, we have some areas na potential for gas. Nagkaroon lang po tayo ng constraint when we were trying to do some seismic survey last April. Na-hold po yun due to security issues dun sa West Philippine Sea.
Maganda po yung nabuksan nyo na yan. Kasi po, may nabasa po akong artikulo. At nagpunta din po ako doon. Sinasabi, ilan ba yun? $26 trillion ba ang deposito doon sa West Philippine Sea? Ano po ba ang opinion niyo po doon? At bakit hindi natin ma-explore? Ano po yung sinasabi niyong naging problema?
Meron po kasing directive sa atin nung Security, Justice, and Peace Coordinating Cluster na hindi muna po mag-conduct ng seismic survey or any exploration activities dun sa area.
Bakit po pinagbabawalan po tayo ng China?
Hindi po namin alam pero yun po yung kailangan daw namin to get the clearance from that
Sa hindi po niyo kukunin yung clearance daw po?
Security, Justice, and Peace Coordinating Cluster.
Ano yun? Saan po yun? Anong ahensya po yun? Security, ano po yun?
Security, Justice, and Peace Coordinating
And-
Cluster.
Peace Coordinating Class. Parang Malacanang nga yata.
Mukhang
Oo.
Office of
Mr.
the...
Chair,
Cluster eh.
Mr. Chair, parang bagong buo lang po yata yan.
Oo, sa Malacanang nga yun. Oo. Ano po, kailan niyo po ito? Kailan po kayo na-advisean? Ito ang administrasyon na ito? O
last po, noong April 2022 po yung aming survey.
so ito po ngayon na administrasyon na nagsabi po yung ating mahal na Pangulo na Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Sa kanya po mismo nagsabi na gusto niya magkaroon ng joint exploration sa China. Wala pa po kayong balita patungkol doon.
Wala pa po. Ang alam po namin, mukhang may discussion po ang Department of Energy sa kanila po. Kaya siguro baka sana po ang hope namin na maayos po yung...
Opo, dalawa po kasi yan eh. Yung isa, wala naman tayong problema kasi nagkaroon na ng BARM, yung Liguasan Marsh. Ano po ang balita doon? Ano po ang, meron na po ba? Nagkaroon, matindi din po ang reserve doon ng gas
Meron pong binigyan ng award ang Department of Energy na isang bloke dun sa area for exploration.
Kamusta po? Hindi ko po nakita kasi dito yung Liguasan Marsh.
Hindi po kasi kami kasama doon
Bakit po?
sa
Dahil sa BARM yun.
hindi po kasi ang kailangan po yung merong ina-awardan ang DOE ng mga
Hindi po kayo kasama doon.
Hindi po.
Pwede pong pakipaliwanag para maintindihan po ng ating kababayan, ano?
Ah,
Ibig niyo pong sabihin, ang PNOC Exploration Corporation, hindi kasama sa Liguasan Marsh?
Sa Mr. Chair, sa iba po na award yung service contract po na yun.
Ha? Pero gobyerno rin yun.
Private po.
Opo, sige po, sige po. Opo.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, just wanted to give the input. Sa service contracts po, yung 60-40 stays.
Opo.
In other words, kasi ang total revenue is 100%.
Mhm.
Tatanggalin ho yung 30% for the cost recovery. Doon sa 70% ho,
Maghahati.
tira ng 60% doon, gobyerno,
Opo.
40% yung service
Aha.
contractor. Pero yung if PNOCEC would like to join the consortium, separate ho yun. Nandoon ho sila doon sa 40. Kagaya ho ng ngayon, PNOCEC is 10% share siya doon sa 40. So meron siyang 4%. So in other words, government, kung merong PNOCEC, is really 64%.
64%.
60, kasi may 60 doon sa
Gobyerno.
matanggal na yung
Oo.
30, 60% siya doon. Tapos meron pa siyang 4%. So 64% to. So in other words, kahit na wala akong participation ang piano,
Meron pa rin.
60 tayo. Okay.
Opo. Sino po yung private ano na yan? Ano po, meron na po bang balita doon? Pero nag-report naman po sa inyo yon.
Kung ho yun, nagre-report ho doon sa ERDB ng DOE. ERDB means
Ng DOE.
Energy Resource Development Bureau.
Opo. May balita na po doon. Siguro naman na marites din naman kayo doon. Kung meron na silang na
Supposed to be meron po silang parang 7 years to explore the area. So nung inaward siya and then meron siyang initial year to prepare for any study doon sa potential targets niya for drilling. So yun po yung ang alam po namin sa kanilang work program.
So 7 years pa po. Kailan po sila nag-umpisa mag-explore?
Na-sign po yung kontrata po nila this year.
Naku, naloko na. Manihira. 7 taon pa. Wala na kami sa Senado, no? Yun na. Wala na tayo ng boss. Teka muna po. Doon po, mabalik po tayo sa West Philippine Sea. Sana po magkaroon ng positibong ano yan. Kasi nakalagay nga po dito sa article, sabi, nakaupo daw tayo. Sabi, the Philippines is virtually sitting on a mountain of gold. Nako, ito daw po ang ating more than enough to free the country from the shackles of poverty. Nakita, mga shackles po, naintindihan ko po yan kasi galing ako sa kulungan eh. Papasok ko muna po kay Tagapangulo at maraming salamat Tagapangulo.
Here, Mr. Chair, is our plans and programs for 2023. As stated by no less than our President, the use of renewable energy is the top priority. Our climate change, the use of renewable energy sources such as hydropower, geothermal, power, solar, and wind, of which we will continue to be of service to the Filipino people in as much as possible that we can. As you can see from 1 to 7, Mr. Chair, Government Energy Management Program, of which we are doing right now, the RE Development Technical Services Program, the Operation and Maintenance Program, Missionary RE Development Program, RE Development Program for military camps, RE Development Program for government and socialized housing projects, research and emerging RE system technologies with ocean uranium and low ental geothermal system. Our prayer, Mr. Chairman, for today is for the chairman not to include us in the GAA for 2023 Colatilla, of which the chairman placed in number 7 in its official gazette. That's our prayer, Mr. Chairman, that you've given us the chance to be of service to the Filipino people. We also submit a previous letter years back, of which maybe the chairman have had overlooked. The World Bank has no less than recommended us, PNOCRC, to be the lead implementing agency for energy efficiency and renewable energy. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That ends our presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Renas. Do you have your corporate operating budget?
We will submit that,
Yeah,
Mr. Chair.
but do you have it now so we can,
Wala pa po, Mr. Chair.
because that's the most important part eh. Magkano gagastusin next year?
More or less, Mr. Chairman, 100 plus, but we will still have it approved by our parent company.
Yeah, but it's already, I think because the parent company, we can, by practice, no, the parent company, even though we don't approve the budget per se, no, but the corporate operating budget is always presented here to the Senate, and we can include provisions to limit or reduce, no, because that's the power of the purse. No? So
Mr.
that's why
Chair?
we need to understand and appreciate how much is the corporate operating budget. So don't take it na because hindi ho ina-approve ng Senado, wala ho kaming power over your budget. We
Hindi
can,
naman- hindi naman
as
po
you know,
ganun,
we can
Mr.
put
Chair.
special provisions to clip it. Eh, no? So that's why we need to understand so that every centavo spent will be spent judiciously and will be discussed thoroughly through the committee hearing. That's why
Rest
we're here.
assured, Mr. Chairman, we will submit it and we will.
So let's do it this way. Since we will be here for the next few hours, can you present the COB later on? We'll give you time to present.
Mr. Chair, we can present it now. if you
Yes,
want.
okay.
Can I call on our Vice President for
Yeah,
Finance to
sure.
present it?
Go ahead.
Okay, sige, just pull the chair.
With PNOCEC, Kong France, Kong Chikoy, so that we can appreciate it where the money is going. No?
Yes po, Mr. Chair. Copy po.
I think alam nyo naman yan. We've been doing this for the last 6 years. No? By practice, alam na natin yan. Yeah.
Mr. Chair, I'll be presenting the proposed budget of PNOCRC. This is submitted to DBM last March 2022. So this is still up for approval of PNOC as our parent company. So for employee cost, we have a proposed budget of 48 million. For maintenance and other operating expenses, we have 32 million. So we have a total operating expenses of 81 million. For project outlay, we have a proposed budget of 2,088,604,500. So we have a total proposed budget of 2,169,875,890. So for the employee cost for versus FY 2023 and FY 2022, we have an increased budget because of the implementation of the CPCS. And for MOE, we have an increased budget of 39%. This is due to the operation and maintenance of our existing power plants. And for the CAPEX, we have no CAPEX for FY 2022. So for 2023, we have allotted CAPEX budget of 2,088,604,500. So this will be allotted for the following projects. Next slide. So we have 6.597 megawatt of Baguio waste to energy project. We have 1 megawatt Nia Aris hydropower plant. And we have 5 megawatt floating solar PV project for Marinduque. And we also allotted 2 megawatt peak solar project and government agencies. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Thank you. Just submit to us this. We don't have that in your presentation. Yeah, before we continue, we acknowledge the virtual presence of Senator Marcos. Yeah, just submit to us your corporate operating budget, even
No,
though it's not
Mr.
yet
Chair.
approved by the mother company.
Or we would like to just finish the project which is related, Mr. Chair, to the budget.
Yeah, I think it's all related, no?
Yes.
Sige ho, we'll just continue with it.
Okay. Okay.
Just if you can just terminate where it's not related to the budget anymore.
It's all related.
It's all
Mr. Chair.
related. Well, this is how many pages?
I
A
will-
lot of pages.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we'll just I think everything's all interrelated to
Yes, Mr. Chair.
yeah, go ahead.
Thank you,
You
Mr.
said-
Chair. Okay, the company has secured an ECC for the project in February 16, 2022, including the provincial Sangguniang provincial governor's endorsement. It has also signed an MOU with the Philippine Reclamation Authority for the reclamation of 3.7 hectares component of the proposed project in April 13, 2022. During its meeting in May 16, 2022, the board also approved the Marine Vessel Refueling Facility or bunkering in ESB. On September 8, 2022, the ESB updated the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources on the status of the documentary request from the Mabini Municipal Agriculturist Office as part of the requirements of the Philippine Reclamation Act in the issuance of an area clearance. PNOC is currently awaiting the Philippine Ports Authority issuance of the permit to develop, as well as to continuously processing of the DENR area clearance as part of the Philippine Reclamation Authority's requirements. As the deferral of the project covers only a partial phase, PNOC continues to monitor the status of said requirements and instead to present for authority to proceed with the construction of phase 1 and phase 2 of the project again to the new PNOC Board of Directors. On the PNOC Industrial Park, it was created in PD 949 as amended by Republic Act 10516, and it is a 530-hectare property located in Limay and Maribeles, Bataan, servicing companies involved in the petrochemical, energy, and energy-related industries. It provides basic services as the provision of raw and firewater, power, and jetty services to its locators. Currently, PNOC is undertaking negotiations with companies for the possible development of a circular manufacturing facility and an LNG power plant, including the expansion of operations of existing locators. PNOC continues to undertake the operation and efficient management and improvement of the industrial park and its jetty facilities while continuing to ensure environmental monitoring and compliance to DNR regulations. On the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, this was proposed as a strategic oil stockpile to ensure long-term stability and security of oil supply in the country, especially in times of geopolitical events, calamities, or emergencies which induce global oil disruptions. Currently, as per the directive of our good Secretary Lutilia, which is true for all programs of DOE attached corporates, the SPR is subject to policy review in consideration of the following. First, the non-competition with the private sector. Second is the rise of electric mobility and the effect of video and teleconferencing on the need to travel for face-to-face meetings. Three, expanding energy resource to include conventional, renewable, and alternative energy sources. And fourth, being mindful of the financial sustainability of operating the reserves, as well as the concept of PNOC carrying the SPR's inventory cost only as suggested by the chair in last year's hearing. And in other words, PNOC can still be part of the solution rather than the problem in the energy transition trust of the new administration. It can, for example, still provide assistance and advice to affected sectors by sharing its knowledge on how the downstream oil industry operates and how consumer agrupations, instead of the typical solo flight syndrome, may be resorted to for negotiating supply and pricing arrangements with the industry players. As in the example of we address the plight of the commercial fishing sector, which the BIFAR OIC Escoto brought before us early this week. On the targeted fuel relief, Mr. Chair and good Senator Robin Hood Padilla, targeted fuel relief program was likewise a proposed government response program which aims to aid the most vulnerable fuel-consuming sectors of our economy during periods of fuel supply disruption and/or high volatility in prices through importation and distribution of discounted fuel. The TFRP is likewise subject to policy review and will only proceed after the policy review and approval of our good Secretary Lutilla. On the corporate operating budget to fund the 2023 corporate priorities, PNOC is proposing a total corporate operating budget of 3.595 billion, which will be sourced internally from generated funds of the company. The proposed budget is broken down as follows: 6.4% or 229.4 million for personnel services, 10.2% or 365.7 million for the maintenance and operating expenses, and 83.4% or 2.999 billion for the capital outlay. Comparing the 2023 COB with the approved 2022 COB, 2023 proposed budget is 2.278 billion or 173% higher than that of the 2022 level of 1.317 billion. The significant increase is on the capital outlay budget amounting to 2.999 billion or 324% higher than the 707.6 million budget in 2022. Significant amount was that included in the 2023 capital budget is the budget for the 2.5 billion for the implementation of the targeted fuel relief program, which will still be subject to DOE's policy review. And at this point, we will just be treating it as a contingency budget amount subject to DOE's call as lead of the Interagency Energy Contingency Committee under AO6, Administrative Order 6. The personnel services proposed budget also increased by 30 million or 15% from 199 million in 2022 to 229 million in 2023. While the MOOE decreased by 44 million or 11% from 409 million in 2022 to 365 million in 2023. PNOC's financial highlights are shown in the screen. For the current year, 2022, the estimated income amounts to 2.092 billion, while for year 2023, the estimated net income amounts to 1.987 billion. A slight decrease of 1.6% is due to lower projection of the sale of bank gas in 2023 by 129 million or 5.19%. The decrease is due to lower price of bank gas per gigajoule in 2023, where in 2022 it was 7.85 per gigajoule to $7.57 per gigajoule in 2023. As of year 2023, total assets amount to 39.5 billion, total liabilities amounts to 4.7 billion, and total equity amounts to 34.7 billion. PNOC's major accomplishments of 2021 are as follows. First, generated a net income of 1.0912 billion, achieved an overall rating of 98% or very satisfactory based on customer satisfaction survey of 2021 conducted by the third-party consultant. Number 3, leased 28,000 square meters of ESB's warehouse facility. Fourth, conducted 100% declaration of security within 18 hours upon berth of foreign vessel as ESB peer. Annual average response time for the declaration of security was 2 hours 26 minutes. Fifth, completed 100% of construction of new fence at ESB's main gate. Number 6, disposed of additional PDMC assets with the sale of 7 Costa Verde and El Pueblo properties in Cavite and Manila, respectively. 7, secured board approval term sheet for the negotiation of the sale of bank gas with First Gen. 8, the company likewise addressed the competence requirements of 90.74% of its total number of employees. 9, maintain compliance to PNOC's head office ISO certification and ISB's ISO certification, as well as PNOC Industrial Parks ISO Integrated Management System by passing the second surveillance audit. Other major accomplishments in the company in 2021, first is the approval of the PNOC board, the detailed feasibility study, environmental impact assessment, and detailed engineering design for the ESB Master Development Plan on February 26, 2021. Number 2, remitted dividends to the national government amounting to 500 million in the support of COVID-19 emergency response programs under the Bayanihan to Recover as One Act. This was on top of the 5 billion fund remitted in 2020 in support of the Bayanihan to Heal as One Act. Number 3, the company also successfully closed new GSPAs with First Natgas Power Corporation and Prime Meridian Power Gen Corporation for the San Gabriel and Avion power plants, respectively. 4th, observed minimum health standards, implemented alternative arrangements, provided PPEs, facilitated COVID-19 vaccination, RT-PCR tests for employees in contracted services. Also provided school supplies to select schools in Bataan to facilitate the online learning of students, and donated a total of 1,295 masks to the provincial government of Batangas and Batangas Philippine National Police to contribute to the precautionary measures against possible airborne ash and fog caused by Taal volcano eruptions. PNOC's 2022 first semester major accomplishments are as follows. First, generation of net income 1.275 billion. 2, completed the study of concept paper of the proposed DES or Decentralized Energy System project using ONU solar PV system. DES project is PNOC's initiative towards energy diversification. Concept paper was approved by the PNOC President last March 16, 2022. 3 is the 100% repair of damaged riprap at ESB. 4th is completion of construction of the ingress-egress ramp, ESB's main gate. 5, conducted 100% declaration of security in foreign vessels berthed at ESB port. 6 is disposed of PDMC assets to the sale of 6 Costa Verde and 1 El Pueblo properties in Cavite and Manila, respectively. 7, disposed to sale 8 lots under socialized housing program in Cavite. 8, the company also disposed of 3 of its properties and leased office spaces located in Bonifacio Global City to Philippine Reclamation Authority. On the continued sale of bank gas, the company also sold and delivered 5.26 petajoules to First Nat Gas Corporation and Prime Meridian Power Gen Corporation. 10, on the budget utilization rate, the company has achieved 9.21 rate of utilization for its capital outlay and maintenance and other operating expenses for the period. The budget utilization rate monitoring is an additional target included by GCG and GOCC's annual performance targets. Low utilization are due to the following. So for MOOE, the budget is 4.409 million, of which 22.5% is the recorded actual utilization as of June 30, 2022. For capital outlay, the budget is 707 million and its actual utilization is 10 million or 1.5% utilized. Most of the items under capital outlay are undergoing procurement process for public bidding towards the remaining months of the year. Other major accomplishments of the company in the first semester of 2022 are as follows. First, PNOC has successfully executed a new GSPA with South Premier Power Corporation on June 23, 2022 for the sale of bank gas. The new project has been initiated by PNOC's energy supply base in Batangas. This is the Marine Vessel Refueling Facility or Bunkering Project. Number 3, observed minimum health standards, implemented alternative arrangement, provided PPAs, facilitated COVID-19 vaccination for employees. 4th, additional update, PNOC's continued compliance to SISO standards. In 2021, the approved budget of PNOC amounts to 613 million, of which 277 million, or 45% of the approved budget was utilized. So it's for personal services. The approved budget of 199 million is for 175 plantilla positions, while the utilization of 69% is for the actual field positions of 159 in 2021. For maintenance and operating expenses, utilization is 37.6%. For capital outlay, the approved budget is 73 million, of which 11.5 million, or 15.8% was utilized. The purchase of fire truck was an approved budget of 27 million for the industrial park, did not push through in 2021 because of the PNOC Board of Directors was not able to convene and take up the recommendation on the bids and awards committee toward the project due to lack of quorum to conduct business as a result of some of directors filing their certificates of candidacy. Port development, ESB, including flattening of the hill, did not push through to 2021 since the PNOC Board of Directors exercised its option under the reservation clause of RA 9184 not to award the construction project due to the current economic condition of the country as a result of the pandemic. For year 2022, PNOC's approved corporating budget amounted to 1.3 billion. As of June 30, 2022, actual disbursement or utilization is 173 million, or 13.2%. Personal services, the budget is 199 million, of which 35% or 70 million is utilized. For MOE, the budget is 409 million, of which 22% or 92 million is the recorded actual utilization as of June 30, 2022. For capital outlay, the budget is 707 million. Its actual utilization is 10.9 million, or 2% utilized. 2% utilized. Low utilization of capital budget was due to the 563 million provision for the second year budget under the multi-year budget for port development of ESB. Port development was deferred to 2023 due to the non-award of contract in 2021 as the PNOC Board exercised its right under reservation clause of RA 9184. Some items are undergoing procurement process to the public bidding towards the remaining months of the year. On the COA observations, COA issued 14 audit observation memoranda for the year 2021. 9 of 14 AOM are fully implemented as of September 30, 2022, as shared on the screen. On the remaining 5 out of 14 audit recommendations, action plans are ongoing. That would end our presentation, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
So PNOC holds interest in 7 petroleum service contracts and 3 coal operating contracts. Out of the 7 service contracts, PNOC holds operatorship and 100% interest in 3. Service contract 37 Cagayan, 57 Calamian, 59 West Balabac. On the other hand, the company is an active partner in MALAMPAYA, SC 58 West Calamian, SC 74 Linapacan, SC 75 Northwest Palawan. For the coal projects, PNOC holds 100% participating interest in operatorship for all 3 COCs, 41 in Zamboanga, Sibugay, 122 in Isabela, and the newly awarded 204 in Malangas. Next slide, please. For 2021, we review our performance for 2021. For Malampaya, we sold 116 billion cubic feet of gas and 3.11 million barrels of condensate, resulting to a revenue of 3.3 billion from our 10% interest. For petroleum exploration, we completed the geological and geophysical activities resulting to the firming up of the drilling of Chico 1 well in Cagayan. In the same SC, we have ongoing preparation for Mangosteen 1 well remediation to test the ability to flow and produce gas. For SC57, we continued review of prospects in preparation for the 3D seismic acquisition and processing program. For 58, West Calamian, we have ongoing maturation and de-risking of prospects to determine the drilling candidates. For 59, West Balabac, we have completed engineering and economic studies on prospective shallow water prospect. For 74, Linapakan, we have completed through the operator PXP Energy, the biostratigraphic and geochemical studies. For 75, Northwest Palawan, the operator PXP Energy issued conditional award to seismic contractor. We also continue data gathering and preparation for seismic evaluation design. For the company's new ventures, we submitted technical and financial documents to the DOE for the reevaluation of PNOCEC's financial and technical eligibility for the new service contract in East Palawan Basin. We also evaluated various domestic blocks and overseas opportunities. Next slide, please. For coal, we continue development works in Mine 3 in preparation for eventual coal production. We also continued pre-development works in Mine 4 and continued development studies for other potential mines. We also continue to pursue evaluation for coal bed methane. These are all in COC 41, Zamboanga, Sibugay. For COC 186 in Malangas, Imelda, Malangas, the company conducted exploration drilling and logging, but it was not completed since the COC was deemed expired by the DOE. For COC 122 Isabela, we continued coordination with LGUs and the DOE in pursuing development of mine and power plant. Finally, the DOE also awarded a new COC 204 Malangas to PNOCEC in September of 2021. For other accomplishments, we generated 661 million net income. In 2021, we remitted 1 billion dividends to the government in April of 2021 to help fight against the pandemic. We supported LGUs and frontliners by donating PPEs and other medical supplies and implemented various CSR activities in project areas. Finally, we successfully passed the certification audit for ISO 9001-2015 certification. Next slide, please. For the first half of 2022 in petroleum, we now, for Malampaya, we sold 58 billion cubic feet of natural gas and 1.45 million barrels of condensate. For petroleum exploration, we continued preparation for Chico 1 well drilling and Mangosteen 1 well remediation in SC-37. For 57, we continued preparation for the 3D seismic acquisition and processing program and conducted farm-out activities. For SC-58, we have ongoing high grading of potential leads and prospects in identifying alternative play types. For 59, we continued geological and geophysical activities with focus on Golok prospect and continued preparation for the farm-out. SC-74, the company continued conducting development studies on the Linapakan discovery wells. For 75 Northwest Palawan, the operator PXP Energy started the 3D seismic. However, the activity was discontinued and further activities were put on hold pending clearance from the Security, Justice, Peace Coordinating Cluster, or SJPCC. For the company's new ventures, we commenced regional geological and geophysical studies in preparation for the awarding of the SC and East Palawan Basin. We also evaluated various domestic blocks and overseas opportunities. For coal, in the first half of 2022, we continued the development works in Mine 3 in preparation for the production, which we expect by next year. We also continued pre-development works in Mine 4 and continued development studies for other potential mines. For 122 Isabela, the company continued coordination with the LGUs and DOE in pursuing development of mine and power plant. For COC 204, we have ongoing permitting activities, including acquiring necessary clearances from the National Commission and Indigenous Peoples. For other accomplishments, we generated 923 million net income as of the first half of 2022, and we successfully passed the surveillance audit for ISO 9001-2015 certification, and we implemented various CSR activities in project areas. Next slide, please. For 2023, the following are the 2023 major indicative work program for our projects. For Malampaya, our target volume is 76 billion cubic feet and 2.1 million barrels of condensate. For petroleum exploration, we will conduct well drilling and well testing in service contract 37 seismic processing in 57, and farm out efforts in 57, 58, and 59, and continue evaluating new domestic and overseas petroleum prospects. We also have contingent well drilling in 59 and 74, as well as geological and geophysical programs in new service contract areas. For our coal projects, we will produce 36,000 metric tons of coal from Mine 3 in Zamboanga, Sibugay. Likewise, we will continue development of Mine 4, also within the same COC, 41, and we will conduct detailed engineering design in Santa Barbara, Malongon, or the Mine 3 extension area. We will develop mine and conduct front-end engineering design and EPC in COC 122, where we plan to conduct mining and power plant operation. For our new COC 204, we will perform exploration drilling. Finally, we will continue evaluation of new domestic and overseas areas. We also have contingent activities such as farm into overseas coal and mine assets, development in COC, and in the development in COC 41, Lalat. Next. So this is the indicative budget of PNOCEC for 2023, where we have a 3.8 billion firm budget comprised by our budget in Malampaya of 1.1 billion, 965 million for petroleum exploration, coal exploration and development of 1 billion. And then for CapEx and OpEx of 129 and 499 million respectively. And for personnel employee costs, 294 million. And MOE of 205 million. So that's the firm of 3.8 billion pesos. For contingent budget, these are activities like drilling and seismic acquisition, which are subject to certain conditions for implementation. So we have a total of 10.6 billion indicative budget for 2023. This still has to be approved by the PNOC board towards the end of the year. And also, we have to firm this up together with our other partners in service contracts where we have joint venture partners, which is normally firmed up by fourth quarter of the year.